Welcome to the Summoner's Nexus TCG. The Summoner's Nexus TCG is a game based on the upcoming Summoner's Nexus IP. Players take on the role of summoners and go head-to-head with each other in real-time strategy card battles. The game is currently still in development, but the team here at TGN Studios is excited to share details on the upcoming project with you. Today, we'll discuss a few aspects of how the game is played and a few of the basic mechanics. In the standard format of the Summoner's Nexus trading card game, players build decks containing up to 20 cards each. These decks contain conjured monsters that we refer to as avatars, as well as magic items called relics and runes. When a game of Summoner's Nexus is played, both players inherit what we call a Nexus gauge that's filled with 1,000 points. This value is used to pay the cost to summon monsters and represents a player's standing in the game. When receiving damage from a successful direct attack, this value will be reduced. If the value of a player's gauge is 0 at the end of a turn, they lose the game. As a result, the objective of the game is to manage one's own Nexus gauge and to reduce the value of their opponents to 0. In order to do this, players battle using the avatars, runes, and relics in their deck. Both players have various zones with which to combat each other and carry out their strategies. The assault zone is where cards are played to initiate an attack on your opponent. The defense zone is where cards are played to protect your Nexus gauge and repel incoming attacks. The counter zone is used to preemptively intercept attacks and disrupt your opponent's strategy. The casting zone is where magic cards like runes and relics are played. Lastly, the Nexus is a special zone that exists between the players that allows for unique strategic decisions in the midst of battle. As you can see, there are lanes that connect each of the zones to checkpoints on the board. Avatars deployed to the assault zone and the counter zone move along these lanes each turn in an attempt to reach the checkpoints, and in the case of an attacking card, advance to their opponent's defense zone. As this is a real-time strategy game, players make their decisions at the same time as their opponent on a shared timer. There are a maximum of 6 total turns in a game of Summoner's Nexus, and at the end of the 6th turn, the player with the highest value in their Nexus gauge is declared the winner, save for very specific situations. Each turn, players may summon up to 3 avatars and place up to 3 magic cards in the casting zone. These avatars will battle any opposing cards they encounter on their set course, with the winner being the card with the higher attack or defense value depending on where on the board the battle takes place. The losing card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while the winning card stays on the field, with the value of the metric that it used in battle being reduced by the value of the metric that the opponent used. These battles continue until one player is able to clear a path towards their opponent's Nexus gauge and attack them directly with a large enough value to empty said gauge. Players must be mindful of how they deploy their monsters, however, as cards in this game will require a cost to be paid from a player's gauge to summon them based on their rank. We hope this brief summary of the rules has been helpful. Of course, as with most developing card games, there are further complexities that will be explained in the near future. In addition, the rules of the game are currently subject to change as development and playtesting continues. We hope that you will continue to support our journey by subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you're aware about news and updates relating to the property. Goodbye!